the concept of universal design, the term was coined back in 1985 by Ron Mace, and he had come up with a definition of that. And the basic idea is that an environment should work well for everybody, without having to have some sort of adaptation or specialized design. And that's sort of paraphrasing the early definition of it that he had come up with. And over the years, the U.S. federal government got involved and has heard of the concept, and they started funding research into universal design and how we could improve the built environment. In 1999, the University at Buffalo took over that grant. It had been held by North Carolina State University for 5 years. And since 1999, the University at Buffalo and our Idea Center here has held that grant. I think there was like a 1-year gap where they didn't run the grant or something, but and so we'll be basically going on 25 years when our current cycle ends in 2025. We'll be going on 25 years of holding the grant. And so during that time, we've really advanced the concept of universal design quite a bit. We've improved upon the definition, trying to get more adoption. And we can talk about that as we go. But the way we define universal design is that it's a process that enables and empowers a diverse population by improving human performance, health and wellness, and social participation. And so the key to that, so one thing that's unique about that definition is the idea of it being a process. That universal design, or UD as we call it, is contextual, and it can always be improved. There's always a higher level of performance that you can try to accommodate for. And depending on what the baseline is in a certain, state, country, region, or whether you're looking at residential versus commercial, there's different baselines of what's there. And so, just raising the bar above those baselines, what's universal in one place might not be in another. And I know that sounds kind of funny, universal sounds like it's sort of one size fits all, but that's not what we really mean. We mean universal in the context of that it's they would be everywhere and apply to everything. And so at the Idea Center, we call it inclusive design, but universal design is the term that's more well known. And that's what our grant funders use. So we go with that. The next part of the definition is that it enables and empowers. So it's not just about being able to do something, but to do it well, to do it comfortably, the way you want to on your own terms. For a diverse population, and so that means that UD, it's for everybody. We want to look at everyone who will use a space and think about how it can be better for them, whether it's children, older people, people who don't speak the prevailing language in the region, anyone who's outside the average. But here's the thing, most of us are outside the average in one way or another. If you look at any one attribute, we're all going to have something that makes us different. Maybe you're average height and average weight with average abilities, but you're left-handed. And so that makes you in the minority for that one attribute. And I'm sure everyone listening can think of something that puts them, at the end of the curve for something. And that's what makes us also diverse. And then the last part of the definition are those improvement areas. Human performance. So we want to improve human performance. So that's things like body fit and comfort, physical things, but also cognitive things like awareness, being aware of the environment around you or what you need to do to accomplish a task, and understanding. And then so some other improvement areas are health and wellness. So staying safe, preventing disability, enabling people to be their best selves. And then the last part is social participation, which involves social integration, not like a separate, wheelchair accessible entrance around the back. Personalization, giving people choice and the option to adapt the environment to them to some degree, and cultural appropriateness, and responding to context. And so we think that definition helps, solidify the concept around, what is it? What does it do? Who does it help? And what are we trying to achieve? What are the outcomes we're trying to achieve